double-E over everything. They do this in prime time, under the bright lights for you on the sidelines. The fans in the stands keeping double-E pride high. The gridiron fly guys, the green and the gold, yeah, they call it the franchise. The gizmos, the miles, the moves, the Kempleys, old spaghetti legs, Ricky Ray, Willie Bless, and whoever comes next to bring back the chip and add another brick to the legacy. Cause it's double-E over everything. Double-E is a legacy. Double-E over everything. Double-E, we rising up.
With heavy hearts, the Edmonton Elks return to play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium to face a fired-up Saskatchewan Roughriders team tonight. Edmonton looks to honor their late owner, Larry Thompson, with a performance worthy of his legacy and to keep their faint playoff hopes alive in front of a packed house. On the other sideline, the Riders, they come in rested and stewing, eager to shake off the beating they took from Montreal before their bye week. It's emotion, despair, and pride, all colliding in an hour's time. Elks Riders, it's Saturday Night Football. But first, this is the Green and Gold Kickoff Show. Matt Iwanyk, Jay Milne with you here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports, presented by Play Alberta. Thank you to everyone for listening across the Edmonton Sports Talk audio streams, edmontonsportstalk.com, tune in, iHeartRadio, as well as for those watching on YouTube. You can get into the inbox, 780-218-9999. You could jump in to the nasty chat. A lot to get to actually over the course of this next hour. But Jay, how are we doing on this Saturday?
Well, it's been a bit of a day. It's been a bit of a challenging day. I came to you and the first thing I said to you was
fix my computer.
You
didn't even say hi, really. You didn't say hi.
I did say hi.
But then how are you? And you're like, just fix my computer.
I just said, look, you're more comfortable. Like, this stuff scares me, to be honest.
Screwed it up.
And so last night we were sitting around, we're doing some studying. My daughter had me sign in on my computer with her school Chrome login, and it shut everything down. Like I couldn't go on Twitter, I couldn't go on YouTube. So I'm freaking out. The background in my picture is pink. I just didn't know what to do. So thank gosh, Maddie, you saved the day. You did it. We did it. I've got a lot of my links. I've signed back into a lot of things. So everything's going to be okay.
Yeah, it's one of those, I'm used to, like, I have my Google profile, and I do highly recommend anyone that uses Google. And like, you could be like, I don't want to give Google all my stuff. They already got your stuff. I have my profile set up so that whenever I sign into a new Chrome with different computers, I could sign in and all my bookmarks come in, all my passwords come in.
Yeah.
Everything just comes in and I'm set.
I
don't know if you had that before necessarily.
I think we should now.
Well, now you have that. Okay. And I'll have to show you what to do if you ever want to let your daughter use it again.
I want to save my home screen. You know, when I open my browser and all these quick links are there ready to go, Twitter, YouTube, the text line, all this stuff, I just need that to be. So we still have work to do.
That's easy to do.
Okay.
That's easy to do.
Okay. Other than that,
but yeah, compare the schools block Twitter.
Of course,
they were They have like the full block on what your daughter had, and like they blocked Twitter was one of the spots you couldn't go to.
That is a cesspool. If you know.
Yeah, I was curious what you
want.
Actually, you know what's funny? When I worked with Bell, they blocked a lot of email, like various websites. We got to go around it as on-air people because we're like, well, we need this for on-air.
Yeah, we need to
we need various sites. So like at times, like they'd block, like let's say a betting site. I'm like, well, we wanted to just look up the lines, and we need to be able to go and do this. So like we were the on-air computers had free reign. we have to be able to search up anything at any moment. We can't be blocked by Bell.
How the times have changed.
Maybe I should add that here at EST. I'm gonna start blocking things on our EST network.
Can I say something before we get off the hop? I know there's a lot of football fans that are listening.
I didn't know if you, yes, please.
Yeah. Look, this was a bad week in Edmonton for the Elks, as Larry Thompson, owner of the team, had passed away. We'll get into that in the significance of that today in this game. Another major figure in Edmonton football also tragically passed away, and that was, Taylor Inglis filled in with me here on the Green and Gold Kickoff Show August 1st, and his father, Jerry Inglis, who we've talked about on the Hangout on here, had passed away with friends and his wife while cycling in Portugal. He suffered a heart attack, and he passed away on Thursday. Taylor and his family and his brother and sister are there with their mom, Erin, and they've just asked that you keep them in their thoughts. I know there's a lot of football community that listen and watch this show If you haven't heard about it yet, that is very tragic and sad to hear of the passing of Jerry Inglis, a former coach of mine, a mentor of mine, and a very much so a father figure to many of the players that he coached. Just sad. Now there will be, and if the University of Alberta is going to be sending this out, Bears football. I've also put it up on my socials. What Taylor and the family had asked is that October 9th will be a celebration of his life. All the details, if you want, I've posted it on my Instagram at Jason Milne. If you were close to Jerry, if you were coached by Jerry, Jerry touched a lot of lives outside of football. He was involved with the Keg for many years. He brought Chili's to Western Canada. He has run several businesses and still does with his family out of the Edmonton International Airport. So Jerry's touched a lot of lives. So October 9th is the funeral. They want as many people to come as possible. And it's a celebration for Jerry because that's what he would want. And Taylor, his son, texted me and said, he passed away doing what he loved, which was being with friends and doing awesome shit. And I mean that. That's what he said. And that sums up Jerry. That's just the kind of life he led. And it's sad to see him go far too soon. But for those of you that knew him, you can definitely plan, if you can, on trying to come out to that funeral.
Jay, condolences to you. That somebody that you just said, mentor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously hurting you. And on behalf of Edmonton Sports Talk, condolences to Taylor and the whole family. He was fantastic on the Green and Gold Kickoff show.
Yeah.
And post-game show.
He'll be around. He was
awesome on the Hangout.
Yeah.
So, he's been just a wonderful guy. And just, listen, talking about the business of his father, but then you guys talking about football growing up. Big loss. For the football community. For the football community.
I mean, this was a guy that was a JP Metris winning offensive lineman, which is the top offensive lineman in the country at the CIS level at the University of Alberta. He then went on to play several years in the CFL. He is on the Alberta Sports Wall of Fame at the University of Alberta. I mean, this guy, and what I will share this is that Taylor has already reached out to say that there's a scholarship that's in place already to honor Jerry moving forward for the University of Alberta, that Taylor has already said this is going to be happening in honor of his name. So
outstanding. Yeah. That part, outstanding. The scholarship part of that. This is an interesting Green and Gold Kickoff show because there's lots. In the city, there was Dr. Darren passed away this week in the community for those that follow, and then Larry Thompson. A rough week when it comes to the city of Edmonton. There's no question about that. Not easy to just transition to it, but there's also a football game being played down at Commonwealth Stadium. 5 o'clock, Elks Riders. It's going to be a packed house down at Commonwealth Stadium. I don't know if there's any, quickly before we get to the starting lineups, I don't know how many tickets would be left for this one. A lot of Rider fans are going to be there, but there's going to be a lot of Elks fans as well. This is going to be a great atmosphere. Jealous that we can't be there to be part of this atmosphere because it's just going to be a packed house, which is just going to be absolutely fun. On Ticketmaster, there's North End Zone, a couple tickets on the north side. That's it. Everything else is pretty much gone. There's a smattering in a section on the southwest side of Commonwealth, but this is going to be trending close, if not over 30,000. Sorry, I got to get to this putt here for Ryder Cup. Hatton needs this. Get in. Yes. Okay, they're not down. They're not down. For those following, 10.5, 3.5, Europe, USA, 2 final holes remain. If this holds, Europe is at the very least going to be 11.5 going into tomorrow. They only need 14.
Crazy.
Let's get to the starting lineup for your Edmonton Elks. For those watching on, why is this mouse messing with me right now? Come on. Okay, there it is. For those watching on YouTube, you'll see the depth chart. For those listening, here we go. Cody Fajardo, he's the man just behind center. Yet again, Ivy, Cordy, Beard, O'Donnell, Boyko are the men protecting him from left to right. Rankin and Plamondon are the running back and the fullback in this one. The receiving core, Victor, Gittins Jr., Hilaire, Julian Grant, and Smith. Defensively, the D-line, Barlow, Williams, Johnson, and Taylor. Linebacking core, Morganson, DeBlanco, and Logan Jr., and in the secondary, Ross, Jackson, Garnes at free safety, Williams, and Ford. Blanchard kicking, Julian punting. Leak will handle the return duties. With that, let's get to the Advantage Sports Medicine injury report. Mr. Milne.
Connor McDavid's got a team of specialists. You've got a bag of frozen peas. Get the same locker room approach that's trusted by the best in the game at Advantage Sports Medicine. Call 780-460-9977 or visit their website at advantagesportmed.ca. Personal story. My oldest daughter, Grace, just went to Advantage Sports Med this last week. She had some swelling in her knee. Turns out it's caused from her just growing right now and things not aligning right. Gave her some really good stretches and things to do at home to try and strengthen her quads. So it's not just for guys like you and I, weekend warriors. If your kids are having issues, they've got on-site docs there. So huge shout out to Advantage Sports Med. Okay. I mean, the big notes here is that Jared Brinkman and Nick Anderson are still out. But as you know, we've all seen, the Elks have seemed to been just fine with their injuries that they've suffered on defense. One note, and it's not injury related, but Cordell Jackson's moving back to his weak side halfback spot. Kyron Williams last week had some instances where it wasn't as good of coverage as I'm sure they would have liked. So Jackson moves back to that spot. Jalen Garnes, now, who was backing up Logan Jr. at the strong side linebacker position, he goes back to safety. But fear not, he's played this position already this year for a few games when Metier was injured earlier in the year.
What I'll say, thankfully, that there's somewhat a change happening because we've had 3 Williams starting tonight.
Yes. I mean, that's way
for
too
whoever's
many.
doing play-by-play, it'd be a little more difficult defensively if there's 3 Williams out there. So that helps. I don't know who's doing play-by-play tonight, but it'll help them a little bit. When you look at the Saskatchewan Roughriders, key players to watch, it's Trevor Harris behind center yet again. They got AJ Ouellette as their running back. They have featured they're getting a little healthy going into this one. Marcus Sales back in cornerback spot. They got Milligan Jr. still out there. Thurman in the middle linebacker spot. But receiving-wise, Baines Jr., he's back, but the big one, Samuel Elmelis, he's back in the lineup. And to joining what's already a strong receiving core in Keyshawn Johnson and Deontay Myers, they got a Joe on this team. So this is a very good Saskatchewan Roughriders team who, once again, they are coming off of a beatdown from the Montreal Alouettes from a couple of weeks ago before their bye week. And it wasn't even Davis Alexander beatdown. This was MBT beatdown, which makes it feel worse. At least like with Davis Alexander, like, well, he's never lost. MBT beating you down at home, that one's got a sting, so they're going to be a little fired up coming in, and they're going to be just looking to create even more separation as they have a chance to just outright make their claim as the best team in the Canadian Football League. Weather for tonight, 18 degrees at kickoff. It's going to drop to about 15 degrees with a light wind. Do you know what that tells me, Jay?
What's that tell you, Matt?
It's football weather.
It's football weather.
Football weather.
It's football weather.
To come on the show today, we'll hear from Cody Fajardo, the starting quarterback for your Edmonton Elks. Play Alberta game day odds check. We'll get into that. 3 stories, keys, and prediction. Let's get to our question of the game.
Ooh, yeah. It's amazing that I forget about this every day. I honestly, every game day, every kickoff show, I forget about the question of the day, but I'm so good. I'm so happy I do. Because I don't honestly know what the question is, and I give you my honest answer right here.
I forget sometimes. Which one am I going to go with? I don't want to go with the same ones. This one isn't about the game necessarily. Well, this game, tonight's game, it's about the game. I've got 4 options to this.
Oh, boy.
What are your feelings on the new rule changes coming to the CFL in 2026 and 27? Love them? Intrigued? Wait and see? Like some, hate others? Or hate them all? Text us 780-218-9999. Jump into the nasty chat or go to our Twitter and vote on the poll. Jay.
Love them, intrigued, love some, hate some, or hate them all?
Yeah.
Intrigued.
Wait and see?
Yes.
For those, before you continue, so for those that haven't heard, if you haven't been tuned into EST this week, you wouldn't have heard maybe, but we've covered it. What's happening next season is, and then there's still going to be some understanding of certain parts to this. But next year, both teams, sidelines, both sides of the field, no more sharing a sideline. Play clock's going to an automatic 35-second play clock as opposed to the 20 we have right now that gets whistled in. And next year, Rouge. If you miss a field goal, that's next year, which is going to be an interesting one next year for that one.
Yeah. Because
the field goal posts aren't moved yet. If a ball goes through the end zone, you can't get a Rouge. But if there's a knee, is that still a Rouge or something? I'll be interested for that one next year.
Well, no, if the player took a knee in the end zone, it would be a Rouge.
So we still have, like, next year, we could still have, okay, it's...
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit haywire.
But one of the reasons that they did this is part of it is also because then the second rule changes in 2027. It makes sense more with that one because can't do anything about it. That's all I'm saying. 2027, fields going from 110 to 100, end zones are going from 20 to 15, and field goal posts going from the front of the end zone to the back of the end zone.
Can I just say that I do understand, like Johnny Alberta in the Nasty Chat, he says, I hate them all except the 33-second clock rule. And you know what?
Oh, outside, you can't hate the benches thing too.
No,
which I think is we can throw to the side. We all just go like, yeah, that makes sense.
Here's the thing. I understand that comment. I was the one that asked earlier in the week, why make any changes? Was the CFL on the brink of dissolving, of going away if changes weren't made? I don't think so. So it took a lot, it took a lot of balls for Stuart Johnston to come in, 6 months, 9 months into the job and say, here's what we're going to do. We're going to transform this game. I appreciate that at least he has the wherewithal and the gumption to do it. Did it need to happen? I don't know. I guess we won't know until this question's answered. But for those of you like Johnny Alberta that hate them all, that's okay too. It is, because what you're looking at, what we watched tonight when we watched the Elks host the Riders, is going to look different. And the 55-yard line is not going to be there in 2027. And the end zones are going to be a little bit tighter and the goalposts are going to be at the back. That, I think, is what makes people right now off the top say, I hate these changes. Because change is not always easy.
Can I take the mic now? I don't have anything to disagree. I'm not like I actually, one thing I didn't like is certain people out there immediately felt like crapping on the people that are upset about these changes.
No, how can you?
But there were some people out there that felt like if you don't like ripping on them, like you guys are idiots for not like. I didn't like that. I understand where some of the anger is coming from. Here's what I'm.
You're not in favor of them. I don't think.
I'm more like some hate others of it.
Okay.
Part of this is I don't think the game needs this, right? I don't think this adds eyeballs. And in fact, next year when these changes don't fully come into effect, you might have pissed off some of your current fan base that you desperately still need. And your game loses eyeballs next year. And in 2027, I don't think people are coming. I am skeptical about the idea that we're going to see a lot more third down gambles. I am skeptical about that. I am fascinated. I will say this. I focused on the game when we're going to play Cody Fajardo later, but Cody Fajardo on the rules. He brought up something Nathan Rourke brought up and said from an offensive standpoint, they actually use the goalpost right now where they are to their benefit because they use it as a pick or something to stop, and then the defenders have to deal with that. That's two different quarterbacks that have said that. That have said that as offenses, they actually use the goalposts. So I'm skeptical about the idea that we're going to see 60 more touchdowns because there's also a stat that they said the targeting in the middle field is much lower than the other ones, but we don't have all the info on that analytics, and I don't trust that graphic because if it's based between the field goal posts, which is what the graphic shows, that's only 6 yards wide, and the other side of the field is 60 total. So the math would add up that way anyways. Cody Fajardo did say that where the offense benefits is when they're pinned at their back. When they're at their own end zone, which to me, screw that. Screw that part of the game. I don't
you're
care.
Cynical.
Well, that's the one. Like I give the defense something there. If you're pinned back, I don't want you to have
or punting out of your own end zone, and you have to watch out for the uprights.
I saw a number of plays this weekend already where maybe it's not directly behind those goalposts, but they were in the middle of the end zone. I saw the ball thrown already. I'm just skeptical that this is going to bring you eyeballs. Now, there's more changes coming. Those are the big ones, but I'm worried that the league right now, the CFL on average has 8 more points scored per game than the NFL. It's an exciting product. I'm worried scoring might drop. Like ultimately in the end, what if this doesn't work?
Yeah, there is that could happen.
What if we see less scoring in the Canadian Football League? Where does the CFL go next? And where I'm still concerned, and Stuart now is saying all the right things with it. But if in 2028, 2029, scoring has decreased, they're not going backwards. They're not bringing this backwards.
Yeah.
So what's the next step to me?
Well, admit failure and then go change everything back.
But I don't think they would do that. That's the thing.
It ain't gonna happen.
I think they would then switch it the other way and go more like down south.
I don't know.
That's the fear I would have.
I think that you're going to see more touchdowns, but maybe less points. That might be what is the actual outcome of this. But don't forget that I think there's a strong desire behind all these rule changes for the introduction to CFL fantasy football on a major level, which complements scoring complements that quite well. Offensive touchdowns, that sort of stuff. You can't deny that the CFL, that's the next big announcement.
Yeah, but I've also been doing it for 10 years.
Right. You're a very rare breed.
No, I know, but I don't think that this changes the way our stats go. There's a lot of touchdowns being scored.
Yep.
The only thing it does is it hurts kickers.
I think
my league's already looking at the idea of adding a punting spot in our league.
I think this is all perception right now, Matt. There's no, Stuart Johnston referenced analytics,
which I don't trust.
We have analytics. Where are they?
That's the thing.
You and I get as much stats as we get. Show me any analytics.
Well, that's the part.
unless you and I are sitting here actually collecting data play by play. Where are these analytics?
Well, and to that, they do struggle putting out proper CFL stats for us. We've had games where they're behind in something. I don't know if I trust their analytics. I don't know if I'm trusting their analytics.
Yeah, not me.
The other part I just absolutely hate is I don't know what happens to grassroots.
Oh, like the Wildcats and Huskies.
We'll be at a Huskies tomorrow.
All the Bears.
I don't know what this does to them. You had Tim Anger on with the Reed and Wilkins show this week, and he said $50 million probably would cost to change all the fields over time. It's just such a substantial amount of money.
It ain't happening because all those fields are owned by the city.
Yeah.
You're going to put that onto a counselor's plate and say, hey, oh, by the way, can you dump $2 million into JP Bull again for the second time in the last 10 years? It ain't happening.
The flip side to that is if you're a good enough football player, you'll be fine. You'll still be found out.
I hope that those leagues just stay and hang tight and say, whatever. Somebody made a great point on our show earlier in the week is that American, in BC, they play 4-down football. BC does not play CFL rules in their their high school system.
Really?
It is it's American.
Did not know that.
It is 100% American. They don't play 3-down football, but there's so many players that come out of BC that go to UBC, go to in the BC Junior Football League that then switch to 3-down football. Football's the game.
Fundamentals are still there.
The rules are the rules, and the downs are the downs. Although 4 downs and 3 downs would be different. It's for a running back or something like that. But they can transition. They can make it happen.
Yeah, we'll wait and see. I'm skeptical of these are going to have positive effects, but we'll wait and see. 2027 will come and we'll judge it in 2027. Hey, maybe that first Grey Cup of that will be played here in Edmonton. There's that possible. Also, by the way, the BC Lions announced, I thought it was going to be Victoria. They announced they're going to play 2 regular season games next year because of the World Cup. They have to move in Kelowna next year.
Oh, beautiful.
Which is awesome. I've been calling for Kelowna as a 10th franchise in this league for a long time.
That's a beautiful stadium where, the Apple Bowl where the Okanagan Sun play?
Yeah. And they'll expand it a little bit, I believe. And so that's where they're going. I really like that. It's better than taking your team, ditching your season ticket holders and going to Winnipeg and Saskatchewan for an easy payday. Looking at you, MLSE. So yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot to get to. By the way, Intrigued and Wait and See has 51% of the vote. Like Some, Hate Some is 23% of the vote. 19% is love them, and then about 7% is hate them all. So it's mixed. We shall see how this plays out. Before we get to the Play Alberta Game Day odds check, or is that the next thing I want to get to? I think that is the next thing I want to get to.
Oh yeah, we put up a play.
We did put up a play. We do it every game.
That's
Jay.
what I see. That's what
Matt's big play of the game.
Now I have to relog into Play Alberta. This is just a mess. Oh. For a guy and people, I am so useless with technology. I'm 43 years old. Give me a break.
Yeah, he didn't have his first laptop until a year ago.
This is my first laptop I've ever bought in my life, and I bought it within the last calendar year.
I was before that.
Oh, God.
While you're doing the Reed Wilkins show.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. I guess now, wow, time flies.
It's been a year for you. When we look at Play Alberta, download the app, visit playalberta.ca, EST Sports YG50, deposit 50, get a free $50 sports bet. Riders minus 5.5 favorites coming into Edmonton today. Edmonton 1+172 on the money line. If you click on EST specials, we've got 2 specials that are connected to this game. Jay's play of the day from, when did you put that up there?
Friday. Wasn't that yesterday?
Was it yesterday?
Yeah.
Elks money line.
Let's go.
Boosted to 195. So if you go to the CFL and you click on the Elks, it's plus 172. If you click on EST Specials, it's plus 195. For those that don't know about EST, they're going to miss out on that little bit of boosted. Plus, then we built something that, look, we're going back to a little bit of a well of keeping it simple. Not one of the bigger ones we've ever come across, but this is plus 161. That's money, baby. That's money. Elks plus 10.5. Game over 40 points. Fajardo, 225 plus passing yards. Gittins Jr., 40 plus receiving yards. Julian Grant, 20 plus receiving yards. That is plus 161. I do like that. I think that is a solid chance of hitting tonight.
Yeah, you cooked up something nice. You could be honest. My initial thoughts were, it's a little weak, but I like it now. Like 161 is not enough for this number to scoff at. So see how it goes. We got skunked last week because Rankin was short 9 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is one for the people tonight.
Yeah, you bet $10, you could win the 10 back plus 16.10.
Yep.
$16.10. So just we're not trying to get greedy today. We've had a little bit better success when we haven't tried to get greedy. Okay, before we continue with this, we got a big putt coming. America birdie to tie this match. So they need this. Burns is up. Otherwise, they're going to fall 11.5 to 4.5 going into tomorrow. Europe just needs 14 points to win the Ryder Cup.
And by the way, Jay's play of the day earlier in the week was getting Europe boosted to win. He missed it.
Take that, America. Woo!
It is fun really cheering for Europe in this.
Wow, they're being dicks to Rory and Lowry, not just normal chants, be on them. Oh, I got a clip to show you later. They try getting this chant going this morning. Even a bunch of Americans this is Barry. They wanted everyone to stamp on the.
They're so lame,
and they were just going. Well, how did it go?
This is all old. This is all old dads in white lawn mowing Skechers shoes.
Oh, I forgot how. That's just what they were just chanting Scotty Scheffler. That was, and people started booing these people trying to get going because this is embarrassing. Okay, we got to get to this game. There's your Play Alberta game day odds check. Check them out. Play Alberta, playalberta.ca. 3 stories of this game. Again, heavy hearts for the Edmonton Elks as news broke on Thursday at 5 o'clock. News that none of us were expecting to see. And that's the unfortunate passing of the Edmonton Elks owner, Larry Thompson, at the age of 65, following complications from surgery. The Edmonton Elks announced that one. And look, it's tough because this is like when he bought this team. At the press conference, he's like, yeah, I sit right there. And he turned around and he pointed to his seats front row. He's like, those are my season seats. This is a longtime fan of this league, longtime fan of this team. And this team was in a difficult spot for a number of years, both on the field but financially, just losing a lot of money. And it came to a point, we were at a point where we needed private ownership for this club. And the difficult part for that is with that ownership, it's requiring losses. And Larry Thompson took over this team knowing I'm losing money. I'm assuming debts and I'm just going to lose money. But I'm still going to do it because I want to turn this franchise around because this is the franchise I love.
Yeah.
People generally don't like losing money. Larry's like, I got it. We're gonna lose money. And it's disappointing that it's a shame that he doesn't get to watch this full vision that he has play out. And then he never got a full season. He's been an owner for 14 months it would have been, but never got a full season in. And that's a shame. I brought it up on EST Afternoons yesterday. I don't know if you saw the Noah Curtis tweet.
No, I didn't.
No, you didn't.
No.
This is one of those things where and this is where sometimes you wonder, okay, well, what's the connection between players and owners?
That's a natural, honest question.
Yeah. Are they really going to be playing hard? Do they know the owner? Not saying they don't care, but there's not that personal relationship as much as a coach or GM that you're around all the time. I'll tell you this. I don't need to know anything else. I just need to know this tweet. And I guarantee you the entire locker room knows about this. And the entire locker room cares now at that moment about Larry Thompson. You don't need anything else. And I'm sure there's been a lot of other conversations, a lot of great interactions. But we could put all that. This one thing is just all you need to know. Noah Curtis from 2 days ago. I am forever grateful for Mr. Thompson and the impact he had on me and my family. When my father was in need of heart transplant last year, he and his wife sent me $20,000 for medical bills and supplies he needed. Thank you for what you've done for the city of Edmonton. And our healthcare system, much different than down south. That could cripple your family of finding that money. Father needed a heart transplant, and Larry and Deb sent $20,000 to cover it. Cover medical bills and supplies he needed. That gets around the locker room, guaranteed. And I could guarantee you that is going to be weighing on these players, the loss of their owner in Larry Thompson today. That is what you hear that and you go, this owner cares about us. This owner's there for us.
Unreal. And Matt, that's the first time hearing that, and I
right?
That's fuel for this team, for guys like that, for players like this, to have an owner that knows your name, an owner that knows your family, wants to know your name and wants to know your family. And I've heard stories like this throughout the week after his unfortunate passing, that Larry was very close with this team. He knew the players. Deb knew the players. They were very, and look, I said it yesterday on the Hangout and I'll say it again. It's just sad because you finally see a man who's dedicated his life to his business, very successful, sold it and wanted to do what he loved, which was buy his team. And you get to the mountaintop of what you can imagine. Running a business like that is not easy. And it's been stressful years for him and his family. I can assure you of that. This was the deep breath. This was the aha moment for them. And it just sucks that he got to the mountaintop and didn't get to enjoy it as much as he should have, and see what I think is inevitable, the changes that are going to happen after the purchase of this team by the Thompson family.
Yeah, it's his legacy and his impact on this team. It's not going anywhere. Just outright brings in Chris Morris, brings in Ed Hervey. They bring in Mark Killam. You see the path this franchise looks to be heading. That's all now going to be because of Larry Thompson. But just absolutely devastating news. And yeah, and like he barely. No Curtis says he did this last year. So Larry Thompson would have only been the owner for a couple of months, maybe a couple of weeks. That's it by the time this happened, because we don't know when this happened last year. And it's not a question. Like here you go. Here's your money. Make sure you take care of them. Like that's absolutely incredible. So hearts still completely go out to Deb Thompson, the entire family, and the Edmonton Elks organization. But that is something that is going to be, on the mind of a lot tonight. And I don't know if the family will be there in person today. I don't know if there'll be any sort of camera on them.
Yeah, there'll be lots going on, I'm sure.
I don't know, because they might not want to be seen or anything right now. So I get all of that, but no matter what, it's going to be a packed house. I'm sure there's going to be a loud roar for Larry at some point. And that'll probably bring a little bit of a smile to the faces of the family who, probably, need a little bit of a smile right now with the way things are going. But you just have to think that, especially with Mark Killam as a coach.
Yes.
This isn't about 2 points.
No,
this isn't about playoffs.
No.
This is about Larry.
And the emotions that'll be going on that bench and throughout the game. I've said this so much this whole entire season, that football is so emotional. It is incredibly emotional during the game. And if Edmonton can harness that emotion and put this all together, that's why it sounds incredibly cheesy, but to win this for Larry is something that is on their minds and something that is, going to be in their hearts today as they take the field. And you know what? I'm here for it, man. That guy was an incredible man. We didn't know him that well.
Nope.
Nobody really did. But now as the stories start coming out and the tweets like that from Noah Curtis, which I bet you there's a lot more behind that than just that, you get a real sense of who he was and what he truly loved.
Elks Riders coming up just after 5 o'clock down at Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. He's JML, I'm Matt Iwanyk. This is Edmonton Sports Talk. We'll continue with our three storylines. Now to football. There's no easy way to transition, but we will. The second storyline for me is... I was looking at a little bit of numbers, but it's the offensive passing attack of the Edmonton Elks. Cody Fajardo has been great this season with his pass completions. But this team, and we've seen it enough, don't push that ball downfield enough. And there comes a point where you got to just start seeing it. This season, the Edmonton Elks They're second when it comes to amount of their pass attempts within 10 yards. They are above league average. League average is 63% of teams' pass attempts being within 10 yards. The Edmonton Elks are at almost 68%. It's almost 5% higher than the league average, which is a pretty significant margin. Then things drop. From 10 to 19 yards, the Edmonton Elks are tied for the third worst. They're averaging about 18% of their targets between 10 and 19 yards. The league average is 21. So 3 points lower than the league average.
Can I make a guess?
20 plus yards before the Edmonton. What are you going to get?
The spread on 20 plus yards is way bigger not in favor of the Elks.
Well, the Edmonton Elks are the worst team in terms of the number of pass attempts greater than 20. 13.8% of their passes. The league average is 15. So it's not a significant drop. But it's one of those, it's lower than everyone else. But if you add it all up, like they're above the league average when it comes to throwing before 10 yards. But then below when it's 10 plus yards, they're below league average. Why are they so scared to throw it deep?
Well,
because now you can't say it's because Trey Ford can't throw that football. Cody could throw the football. Before at the start of the season, you could say that. You just don't trust Trey maybe throwing. Cody's been there long enough. Why aren't you trusting Cody to throw the ball deeper?
He hasn't looked great throwing the ball deep.
Okay.
And recency bias included, last week he did not look good throwing the ball deep. They did take a couple shots. They were nowhere in the vicinity of a receiver. I think Cody, and let's be clear, Jordan Maximic, offensive coordinator, is a very possession-based play caller, where those short passes, which a lot of teams in the CFL will give you, right? That's Edmonton's bread and butter, is Odu Hilaire, Benjamin Victor, 9-yard dig routes behind the linebacker or in a window, and bang, you're there, move the ball, first down. That's okay. Now, here's the thing. I was the guy, you're the guy, we've been asking for this. Because not only are you trying to test the defense, tell the defense that, hey, look over here, but wait, we got a deep shot coming right here. Keep them on their heels. Keep them honest. But the other thing, too, is there's a very high likelihood that if the ball is placed properly, that you're going to have a pass interference call. It's almost 40% of these deep shots, when the ball is placed properly, is a defensive pass interference. But when you look at that, when within 10 yards are second in the league in passing efficiency, I don't mind that, Maddie, because they are controlling the clock. They're controlling the pace of play. But you can mix that. You can blend that in. You can add in, two deep shots a half. And it doesn't, it could be a 25-yard completion. Oh, when's the last time? Let me ask you this. Have you seen crossing routes from this offense once?
Not that I could recall necessarily.
Once.
I don't recall a lot of slant routes or anything.
An over and an under, right? Where the over is running ahead of the safety and the under's in front of the linebackers. Somebody's got to give. Something's got to budge. And usually those linebackers, those greedy buggers, they want to come up and smash that player that's coming under, which opens up the over. I have not seen that once. And maybe this is something that's still coming, or they're waiting for the right matchup. And tonight would be, because Saskatchewan is missing some key players on defense in the secondary. I've said it before. I just don't know about the consistency of this offensive play calling. There doesn't seem to be any.
You don't know what you're getting week in and week out.
You don't know. Like, we could say, ranking the damn ball, as for Big Uke. We can say that all day, but you don't know. Right? What if today they come out and on the first drive they have 4 dynamic plays where it's misleading the defense, or end arounds, or screens, counters. Hey, run a counter. You just don't know. And that's a problem. There's no real... And Reed doesn't like this word, but when the Boston Bruins, they have a enigma around them of their style of play.
Okay,
that's what they're going to do.
There's
so
a
does
DNA.
Saskatchewan.
A DNA to their team,
right? Yeah, there's something there that is going to be consistent week to week. The Edmonton offense does not have that. The defense has found it, and they're doing that quite well.
Well, I'd argue the Elks offense does have one in my mind, but it's get Rankin going. And if Rankin's not there, you don't have much else. It's reliant on a player, not as much as on a system as much. We need to feed Rankin the ball in one way or shape or form and get him going. And the games that he's not going, here we go. Can't get anything going.
Right.
Nothing else. We tried it all, and we're out of ideas.
I guess the word I'm looking for is they're lacking an identity.
Yep.
Of something that they do consistently well.
Reed doesn't like identity?
No, he thinks it's overused.
Oh, okay, I can understand that.
Sorry, he does not like the word, but it's used way too much. This team offensively struggles to find an identity because it's different from week to week. I guess their identity is give number 5 the ball.
Well, that's exactly it. That's a risky game to play because if he gets contained, you're done.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, for me, this past year, you're saying maybe Cody has struggled a little bit with the deep ball. I go the other way, and I just don't think they trust the receivers to get there, to get open for Cody to throw that ball.
That would be a great point because you've been saying that all year.
That's the one
and I'm starting to come around on that with you.
Cody is 65% this year on 10 to 19-yard throws. I said I have to go through each team right now. Maybe I'll try to do that. He's 45% 20-plus yards. I don't know if that's good or bad. VA is 49%. What did I say Cody was? 48? Nathan Rourke is 60%. Rourke's really good at that.
Yeah.
Bo Levi is 43%. Davis Alexander is 55%, whereas MBT's 29%. Oof. Ottawa Drew Brown is 46%. Crum is 38%. Saskatchewan Trevor Harris is 57%. Nick Arbuckle. Sorry, I have to go through this. I have to go by team. I can't just look at a list. Apologize.
Oh, that would be
47% for Nick Arbuckle. And Zach Collaros / Chris Trevor. Collaros is 46. Trevor's 52%. Weirdly enough, on 23 attempts, he's 52% on that. So I would say Cody Fajardo is about middle pack.
Yeah.
When it comes to that completion.
But
maybe let him try it a little bit more.
Middle of the pack, then you should let that fly at least twice a half.
Yeah.
4 times a game.
Yeah.
Try.
I'd like to see a little bit more of that. Final storyline of this game. Actually, Well, I'll just quickly read some text. Chris Sadoway did say the only change I'm behind is opposing bench is mandatory. I can get used to the new time clock. CFL game produces a lot of offense as is. Games typically have over-under lines in the 50s. The changes to the Rouge just sound like a vendetta against the rules based on a misunderstanding of what the Rouge awards. I'll also say the moving the goalpost sounds like a vendetta that the commissioner has about something that happened in the 1980s when he was a high school quarterback.
If you're not getting the reference from Matt, he was on the morning show, the Nielsen show with
No,
Lieutenant
he said this
Eric.
at the press conference.
Oh yeah, but he did back it up, I think, on their show, or they brought it up. Was this a personal vendetta that he hit the upright as a quarterback in Little League?
And the CFL has changed ever since, all because of one high school play that happened in the 80s.
And Matt, I gotta be honest with you. I didn't say it earlier, but I disagree, and I don't think offensive play callers use the uprights currently as a decoy or as a rub or a pick. I don't like.
Why would Cody and Nathan say that then?
It's never come across once in my entire life of playing football that offenses would do that on purpose.
But maybe now that the
how many times have you seen a defender run into the goalpost?
No,
you would see it.
All right, but I haven't seen a lot of people run into the goalpost in general, and the CFL's telling me they got to move this for player safety.
That's a load of crap. What they're doing is they're trying to make up for the lack of field
I get
they took away. And I do agree with the opening up of the middle third of the end zone. That, I think, is way more factual than trying to rub players off on the goalpost. It just doesn't happen.
Also, the TV angles, we're fine.
Oh, God, the TV angles was one of the worst. Could have went without that one.
Yeah, there was a couple things that probably scratched those ones. Scott says, I love them. Why not try something new? So there's those two comments. Third storyline of this game, it is do or die for the Edmonton Elks. The results this weekend do not favor them. The Toronto Argonauts do lose to the BC Lions 27-22. So crossover standings is there, but you have to get the fourth. Earlier today, Winnipeg dominated Hamilton 40-3. So Winnipeg and BC both at 16 points. The Elks have a game in hand. They're 10 back. If they win today, Well, actually, it's also Calgary has a game in hand. They're at 16 points too. If the Elks win today, they'd be 2 games back of Winnipeg, BC, Calgary. They wouldn't have the season series against any of those teams currently. There's only 3 games left to play. You'd have to win out. You basically they have to win all 4.
Yeah,
basically,
absolutely.
If they go win 3, there's going to need a lot of help the rest of the way, because the one thing is they do play Winnipeg and BC. You beat those 2 teams, winning out. That helps you, but you're going to need help somewhere else. But this was the first weekend since I think week 1 that they scheduled starters for every team. Now it's Cody Fajardo. At the beginning of the season was Trey Ford. Outside of Chad Kelly, we're all starting this week.
Yeah.
And the Winnipeg Blue Bombers look good again.
Davis Alexander looked good.
And Montreal Alouettes. Yeah, that's why to me, I always felt like I always wanted to say they're the best team in the CFL.
You were right.
But I need to wait and see. He needs to come back, and he has never lost the CFL game as a starter.
Look, it's a must-win, okay? There's a couple things that the Elks, and this might, Maddie, I know, wow, this show's flown by.
I know.
This might migrate into my, keys to the victory. But coach to win the game. Don't coach to not lose. That has cost this team twice in a row in the last minutes of games where they had difficult decisions. I understand, but coach to win. You've got nothing else to lose right now. You have to win.
You leave it all in the line.
Yeah, leave it on the field.
If there
take a risk.
If there's
okay.
If there's a fake punt that you need or some sort of play with the punt that you haven't called this season, I don't think they've really done anything.
They haven't done one single fake anything.
Pull it out. You need to start winning the rest of your games.
Ooh, I wish there's a prop on that.
Mark Killam the Calgary's been known for some of those at times.
Ooh,
there's got to be something in the book.
Fancy boy,
that you
Matty. But I'm serious. Leave it all on the field.
That's the thing.
Well, don't go out. You'd hate to be sitting here in a post-game loss saying,
we're so close.
They were so close, but we decided to punt with 2 minutes left. No, leave it on the field. You have to.
Well, I did say last week, I don't know if you heard it, but I was for that third down at the midfield. I said, even just fake it. Do a fake punt right now. Catch him.
Sure.
Do something. Don't give the ball back. Look, you might have to give the ball back. Attempt to not give the ball back. That's what I want to see. But this is a huge game for the Edmonton Elks because if they lose, mathematically, they are not eliminated.
Wow. 1 foot in, buddy.
Yeah, they wouldn't be able to catch BC. Winnipeg, if they lose tonight, they'd be 3 back of BC with 3 to go. BC has the season series, so they can't catch BC. They would be 3 back or 6 points back of Winnipeg. They could win that season series, so they could, in theory, catch Winnipeg. Calgary, they didn't win by big enough, but they could win the season series by beating them at the end of the season. So it's not over. It's not over. But it's over.
They've got to make...
This is probably the first real true must-win.
Trevor Harris uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed on the depth chart, but they dressed 10 defensive linemen. They are sticking with this. They are rotating guys through.
Yeah, defense has been working well.
Trevor Harris is not going to kill you with his legs, but he will kill you with his quick release ability. He gets rid of the ball fast. Force him to hold the ball with your secondary and then put on the pressure with that rotating line up front. And finish in the red zone. They are below. Look, there's been 360 red zone trips in this season in the CFL. Winning teams connect on 67% of those. Losing teams are 55%. Edmonton is right in the middle at 60. Play above average in the red zone. Put pressure on Trevor Harris and coach to win the game.
He doesn't need his computer to get you great stats right here on the Green and Gold Kickoff Show. Let's hear from the quarterback of your Edmonton Elks, Cody Fajardo, courtesy of GoElks.com. Speaking to the media just a few days. Now, this media avail also was before Larry Thompson's passing, so there's no comments on that. I also removed stuff on the CFL. This is strictly, for the most part, about the game. Here's Cody Fajardo speaking to the media.
Cody, just looking at this game coming up against Saskatchewan, 2 tough losses for you guys, obviously. Just kind of, what's the mood of the team like? I know we've asked you that throughout the season after some losses, but kind of just, especially the way the last 2 games have ended.
Yeah, I'm taking it as a playoff game, win or go home. That's as simple as I can make it. Like, this is a playoff team. We're going to have a playoff atmosphere here with 30,000 expected to show up. Like I said, versus a very good football team. So this is as close to playoff football as you can get without actually being in the playoffs. And if we lose, we're going to have to look ourselves in the mirror during the bye week and really have to find a way mathematically how we can be in the conversation. So in my opinion, it's win or go home. So we have to find find a way to do whatever we can to win this football game. If nothing else, what last week gave us is one of the Grey Cup favorites in Hamilton Tiger Cats. We took them to the wire and we're leading that game, and I think there was 10 score changes, or maybe that was a little bit high, but there was a lot of score changes in that, lead changes in that game. We know we can play with anybody, and I've said that all year. We have to win those football games. What's going to really hurt is at the end of the year, if we look back and we see we missed it by 1 or 2 games. I wish I was, I was telling my wife this, I wish I was living in the bizarro world where we won all those games that were one possession games in under 3 minutes. This might be a 10-win football team, which isn't crazy to think about because we've been in so many tight games and we've lost a lot of those games. So we know we're a talented bunch and we know we're going to be playing a talented group. But in my mind, this is playoff football, win or go home.
Sask, they got crushed their last game at home. They've had a week off to prepare. They're going to be. Teeth are going to be out this week.
Yes, schedule makers didn't make it easy on us. I feel like we've played a lot of football teams coming off bye weeks or long weeks on us playing short weeks and 10 straight. That's no excuse. That's just what we've been dealt. And so the guys have responded after gutted losses. We've responded time and time again. And what I said after the game was, how many times can you stand up after getting knocked down? But the energy on the field today, the belief in that locker room, and the smiles on guys' faces today just goes to show that guys are ready for this opportunity, and guys understand that we still have an opportunity to make a fighting chance to make this playoff run. But it starts with Sask, like you said, a team that lost. Now you got to look at it. They were down both their starting corners on defense. They're a completely different defense when they got both their starting corners in, when they got their free safety in. So injuries definitely plagued them in that game, and that wasn't the true Saskatchewan team that we've seen all year. I fully anticipate them having their full roster back coming off a bye week, and it's going to be very difficult for us going into this one.
There's Cody Fajardo speaking with the media a few days ago in advance of Elks Riders coming up down at Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. As we get into the fall part of the CFL season. It's wonderful. It's glorious. I'm sad summer's gone, but also there's something about fall football.
Yeah, it's not gone.
By the way, tomorrow Jay and I will be live at the JP Bowl, noon, right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. If you want to come down to watch the Huskies take on Calgary, playoff battles going on. When it comes to Prairie Junior Football. EST, the promo code, just EST?
Yeah. EdmontonHuskies.com. Click on purchase tickets. Use promo code EST. 50% off tickets. It doesn't matter if it's 1 or 15. It's 50% off.
We will have live pregame coverage for you for that tomorrow, right noon, right here on EST. Your key to an Elks victory tonight?
I'm going to go back to coach to win. Don't coach to not lose. Be aggressive. This is a must win. This is a playoff game. Treat it as such. Pull out all the stops and get the victory and get it for Larry Thompson and the Thompson family.
Play to win.
Play to win.
Not play to not lose, which we've seen a number of times these last couple of weeks. It's that D-line pressure. We'll win that battle against, to what you said with Trevor Harris. Because he's getting MLS back. They've got Keyshawn Johnson. They've got a good receiving core. Trevor Harris is a quick release guy. He also can get that ball out, give him a little time. He's going to find one of those receivers. You got to make Trevor Harris uncomfortable. You got to make him make an even quicker decision. A quicker decision that he wants to and force that arrow. He can throw interceptions. He will throw interceptions. You got to make him uncomfortable because if not, he's going to pick you apart.
On that point, win the turnover ratio tonight. Saskatchewan, in their 10 wins, have a plus of 12 in the turnover ratio. In their 3 losses, -6. If you force them to turn over the ball, it leads to victories.
Boom. Your prediction?
31-30 for the Double E. Tight.
How's this end?
A rouge.
I want so many games to end in rouge just so people could get it.
Yes, give me the rouge. Feed me the rouge.
I will miss the missed field goals returned largely. I forgot I took something off the screen. All good. He's Jay Milne. I'm Iwanyk. Thank you to everyone for tuning into the Green and Gold Kickoff Show right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Once again, condolences to Deb Thompson and her entire family in the Double E, and also condolences to the Inglis family as well. We've got a football game coming up. It's going to be a big one. Packed Commonwealth Stadium. Woo! It's going to be jealous that we're not going to be there. But that game's going to be taking place. If you're not heading down, you can watch it on TSN. But you know the place to be once that's over. right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Jay and I will be back with the Green and Gold post-game show on EST, your clear choice for Edmonton Sports. Once it ends, breaking it all down. Once again, thank you very much for everyone for tuning in to the Green and Gold Kickoff show. We'll be back with the post-game show once it's all over, breaking it down. Have a great night. Enjoy the football game. Talk to you on the post-game show.